boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Content for Kids. I hope you've had a great couple weeks. We're going to start off with a song that can be a little tricky to sing, but once you got it, I think you're going to love it. It's called I Am So Glad That Jesus Loves Me. So first, let's just give you the words. I am so glad that our Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. Let's just learn that part. I am so glad that our Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. Isn't that kind of fast? But it's kind of fun, so let's do it. I am so glad that our Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. And then the next two lines, wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. So let's sing those two lines. They're kind of like the first two lines. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. Let's do that whole verse. I am so glad that our Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. And now let's do the chorus. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. So that chorus is pretty simple, right? You just repeat, I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. So let's do all of it together now. I am so glad that our Father in heaven tells of his love in the book he has given. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. Let's do the chorus again. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I am so glad that Jesus loves me. Jesus loves even me. So this episode is a little bit different because I wanted to show you some video of my mom's new little pet, a miniature house pig. It's a cute little pig that's not going to grow very big. Her name is Pixley, and she runs around the house and all over the farm. So I followed her around so that you could see what she does in her day. So for today's lesson, we're going to talk about the story of the blind man. Some of you may remember this story. I'm going to read it from the Great Book. We're in John chapter 9, verse 1. As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man who had been born blind. His eyes had never seen the light of day. Jesus' followers asked him, "Rabbi," that means teacher, "who sinned? Did this person or his parents sin to make him be born blind?" And Jesus answered, "This person did not sin and his parents did not sin. That's not the reason he was blind. No, this occurred so that God's deeds might be shown in this man's life. We must do the tasks of the one who sent me while it is still daytime. Night is coming. No one can work then. I am light for the people of the world while I am in the world." And that's what Jesus meant when he said it was daytime. While he was still on earth, he called it like the daylight, and he had time to do everything God wanted him to do. When he left the earth, it was like nighttime. The daytime was over, and it was too late to do anything. So he said to the disciples, "We need to stay busy in God's work while I'm still here." After Jesus said these things, he spit on the ground and made some mud with it. And then he rubbed it on the blind man's eyes. And Jesus said to him, "Go and wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." This word means sent. Then the blind man went away and washed himself, and he came back with sight. Can you believe that? First of all, he had never seen the light of day, and he didn't know how far the water was, I don't think. He had to believe in Jesus enough to go stumbling through the streets to find the water. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how much he believed that Jesus would save him and would save his sight? That's a lot of faith, isn't it? That's one of the most amazing things about this story. The blind man believed that Jesus would never lie. And because he had faith in Jesus, Jesus saved him and gave his sight back. So then the people who used to see him when he was a baker and his neighbors were saying, "This is the man who used to sit around and beg." And others were saying, "It's him." And still others were saying, "It can't be him, but it looks like him." But the man continued to say, "I am the one. I'm the one who used to be blind and beg for everything, and now I can see." And they asked again and again, "How come you can see?" And the man answered, "A man called Jesus made some mud and rubbed it on my eyes. Then he told me, 'Go to Siloam and wash yourself.' So I went there and washed myself, and now I can see." So the lesson of this story, something I want you all to think about, is the obedience of this man, right? Jesus asked him to go wash himself in the water, and the man obeyed because he had faith in Jesus. He believed. He couldn't see, could he? He was blind. He didn't even know what Jesus looked like, but he still went because he had faith. And that's the thing I want you to think about today. God asks us to obey in faith. We don't see God. We don't hear his voice in our ear. We read about him in the Bible, and we read what he wants us to do. He wants us to believe in Jesus, to know that we're loved and we were purchased at the cross of Calvary, that we belong to him. He wants us to walk in the Spirit. That means to let Jesus' power come through our lives so that we can be lights to the world of darkness. So we don't have to stumble in blindness like the blind man, but sometimes we don't see what's ahead, right? We don't know exactly what life is going to hold. And that's when we have to have faith too, and trust in the Lord and give him our whole heart, and just be ready and excited to do whatever he would have us do for him, and talk to whoever we need to talk to and tell them about Jesus. And that's how faith makes a difference.